So this is our deep squat mobility. So for this, we just need ourselves. Maybe we need something to support on, but I'm going to talk about in just a minute. So here we're trying to improve everything from our ankles, our knees, our hips, our entire spine, upper back, neck, shoulder area. So the squat position is our natural resting positions as humans. So in many countries around the world, they're still sitting in a squatted position when they're resting, when they're eating, when they're going to the toilet. And those part of the world, they don't have the same knee and back issues as we have in like the more Western part of the world. So think about that for a second. So when we're going into our deep squat, we want to focus on a couple of points here. So we always try to sit somewhere in between hip and shoulder width apart. So to begin with, we don't want to try to sit too close with our feet. We can challenge ourselves with that when we get more proficient, but at the beginning, I'm just going to try to find hip to shoulder width apart, and then I'm going to keep my feet as straight as possible. So I don't want to sit here with my feet angled all the way out, because when I'm in this position, I take a lot of pressure off my ankles and my groin, and I really want to work those areas while I sit in a deep squat position. So get your feet straight and get into the deepest squat possible. So the key here is that we actually want to try to relax. So if you don't have the mobility right now to sit and relax in a deep squat position, don't worry about it, because then I'm going to show you a way now that we can actually improve even though you don't have the mobility. So if you get your feet straight, get in this hip to shoulder width position, and you find yourself in positions like this where it feels like you're more just strength training and everything's just building up with blood flow and acid in your thighs, then find something stable that won't tip over, and then you're just gonna hold on to that, get in the same position here, because then I can assist myself by holding on to something. So I can actually lean back and I can relax in this position. And then what we want to do, doesn't matter if you're assisting yourself or if you're just sitting on the ground in a deep squat like this, then we want to move around here. So we want to spend 2 to 5 minutes in this position. And then I'm just trying to get my knees to rock over the top of my toes as much as I can. I'm working on my ankles here. So I'm just trying to move around. Again, I can support myself. And I'm also going to try to push my knees away from the midpoint of my body. When I do this, I'm going to make sure that my toes doesn't lift up. I'm just going to try to keep my big toe into the ground. I can just wiggle around. Take some deep breaths to make it easier to relax in these positions. I can wiggle a little bit from side to side, try to open up the hips, the ankles, everything. I can even take a good hold on something stable here, and then I can try to reach for the sky to work my upper back as well. Get some good rotational work in here. And you can do this, of course, even though you don't have anything to assist yourself with, if you have the mobility. And then we're just going to spend 2 to 5 minutes in the bottom of our squat here. If you feel like it's painful for your ankles, your knees, your back, don't worry about it. Then just sit back, straighten out your knees, relax a little bit, just stop the timer. And then whenever you feel ready, then you're just going to get back into the position and build up until you can sit for a longer period of time in the bottom position of a squat. So this is a really good daily practice, just as well as ground sitting, to be able to sit in a squat without having any limitations. So that's a really good sign of overall good mobility in our body if we can do that, keeping our feet straight. And let's work on improving our squat, because if you've got any issues around your body, ankles, knees, hips, back, neck, spending more time in the deep squat position will almost magically improve all those different areas. Just make sure you can do it from a position where you can actually relax. So don't be afraid of grabbing something to assist yourself, and then let's spend more time squatting.